You are listening to the Centanni Broadcasting Network, CENTANNI.broadcasting.com, in high definition digital stereo.
We are broadcasting from Giovanna's Restaurant, located in Manhattan at 1569 Lexington Avenue, between East 101st Street and East 100th Street. Welcome and thank you for listening to the Bill Russo Show. I am joined by Ralph Tramontana, President of the Little Italy Merchants Association, and John Crowder, Community Leader from Little Italy, and my co-host is Anthony Lafazzo. And Anthony, you had it right when you said that Little Italy in Manhattan, Mulberry Street, is where it all began for Italian Americans, predominantly in America. And the San Gennaro Festival, the Feast of San Gennaro, a religious and cultural feast with food and entertainment as part of it, is really a representation, a celebration of that culture. So John, tell us what's happening now. I understand there's a little controversy going on, a big controversy, yes, regarding newcomers to the neighborhood, people who want to limit the length of the feast this year and in subsequent years.
Yeah, well, you see, like everywhere else in New York City, we have developers that basically only looking to make money. So they'll take a neighborhood and they'll try to change the name of the neighborhood. So what they did was they took the northern end of Little Italy and called it Nolita, which is north of Little Italy. Doesn't make sense, because if you want to live north of Little Italy, you got to live on the other side of Houston Street. But the new people that moved in, the boutique owners that opened up their shops, they claim that during the Feast of St. Gennaro, they lose 70% of their business. Now think about it. First of all, no one goes into business, I don't care where you go, what part of the country, without first checking the characteristics of the neighborhood you're going to open in. Everyone knows about the Feast of St. Gennaro. Everyone knows it's a major tourist attraction. If you knew that the feast was going to go on in September, 11 days, Mulberry Street is closed. If that was going to hurt your business, why would you even open a business? But I think the other question we have to ask is, if we get over 1 million people that come to the feast, roughly 100,000 people a day. You get 100,000 people walking past your shop. If you can't generate 1% of those people to come in and buy something, then either what you're selling isn't worth it, or you have a very bad business plan. It just doesn't make sense. The response that we got from these boutique owners, again, sounded very bigoted. The people that come to our shops aren't the ones that come to the St. Gennaro Feast. Those people, I love when they say those people, are not our clientele. Let me tell you something, those people that come to the feast come from Europe with a lot of money in their pocket. I don't think nothing of shopping in those stores.
It's very clear that the feast generates a lot of visitors, and I think the numbers are 100,000 people per day who visit the feast, and that amounts to, over an 11-day period, over 1 million visitors. And many of those visitors span income ranges, and during that time in September there's also Fashion Week. You also get, and I know for a fact, you get people in the fashion industry who attend the feast itself, models, photographers, support staff, who actually come to the feast. So I would question whether there's actually that much of a drop-off, and in fact the people who come, they will go along those blocks and those businesses will catch their eye. Maybe they're not going to go to that boutique on a particular day at the feast, but certainly for exposure, to be a business in Little Italy is actually a good thing.
Well, Bill, I think we have to point out, we lived in that neighborhood, we walked that neighborhood. Those shops were always empty. Matter of fact, Fashion Week was last week, and we went through, I particularly went through with a video camera. During Fashion Week, the heat of Fashion Week, those stores were empty. Now, you know what it's like? It would be like maybe putting that type of a store in Little Italy doesn't work. It belongs maybe in Soho. It would be like me opening up a pork store in the middle of an Orthodox Jewish neighborhood. I'd be out of my mind. It's crazy. So these people didn't do their homework when they decided to open their shops in this community. And again, the other bigoted remarks we heard from them is we don't want people coming in our shops with greasy hands. What does that mean? What are they trying to say when they say something like that? So we're really very angry about this. And we do have a Facebook page.
Okay, let us know how people can get involved and learn more about the San Gennaro. I think there's a website for San Gennaro. You do a Google search, San Gennaro, and there's a Figli di San Gennaro website where you can learn about San Gennaro and the importance of that saint to the Italian-American community. And you can also learn about your effort. What is your Facebook page?
On our Facebook page, it's Little Italy and San Gennaro Under Attack. That's the Facebook page we set up. In 1 week, we had over 3,000 people from all over the country, and you're right, all over the country. We were hearing from people from California who told us their grandparents came to America through Mulberry Street.
By the way, several years ago, Jimmy Kimmel organized and started a San Gennaro festival in Los Angeles, which is almost a carbon copy in the sense of food, entertainment, culture in LA. So the concept of the San Gennaro festival, and what a great saint, and this year, the blood drive. What a great idea to have a blood drive that would end up resulting in blood being available to more and more people in New York City. And San Gennaro is the patron saint who looks over people in times of disaster. And this happens to be, unfortunately, the 10th anniversary of 9/11.
That's right.
So we support you, John.
We have two websites also. We have the Figli di San Gennaro website. We also have a Squidoo page, just called San Gennaro, but it's part of Squidoo. And on that page, you can hear everything about the issue and about the feast, how it started, and everything else. I think that would be very helpful.
Great. The feast this year of San Gennaro is from September 15th to September 25th. And it's a great feast. It's a wonderful experience. Come meet your friends. Stop by Sambuca's on Mulberry Street. Stop by Most Precious Blood Church. It's a beautiful, beautiful church. And Old St. Patrick's Cathedral was just named a basilica, a cathedral by the Pope. And we recently had a visit by the Cardinal of Naples, who came to Old St. Patrick's, and he was honored by the Italian American, and I'll have you know, the Chinese community turned out in large numbers for Cardinal Crescenzio Sepe, who was venerated by the Chinese community because of his work in trying to free the government in China and allow the worship of the Catholic religion and all religions. So we are a generous people, and we urge you to support the San Gennaro Festival. And with that, we're in an Empire state of mind.